Judges chapter 14. Samson. Samson was most definitely going off the lust of his eye and wanting to marry the daughters of the Philistines. And we know that Samson was from the tribe of Dan, which means that he should be marrying someone from the tribe of Dan. Samson was able to tear apart a lion. This is an unclean animal that he tore apart, remembering that through his ability of tearing that lion apart, he received the Holy Spirit, the spirit of strength from the Holy Spirit. Samson had eaten honey from an unclean animal, and he took some of that honey and gave it to his parents, and they were unaware of this. Samson basically did not follow the Torah in a lot of different ways, but yet he was used by Jehovah. Samson gave a riddle at his wedding feast among the Philistines, according to what happened with the lion and the honey. And this caused some issue because they were supposed to give him 30 garments or 30 sheets if they do not get the understanding of this riddle, which he knew wasn't going to happen. They wasn't able going to do that. And if Samson loses, he has to give them 30 garments and 30 sheets. So because they wasn't able to answer this by day number 4, they begin to put pressure on his wife. Matter of fact, well, actually, I should say wife to be, maybe wife, maybe this was her wedding feast. It's hard to say because they never did consummate the wedding. However, they put pressure on her. She was under distress by the Philistines because they threatened to burn her and her father. Now, of course, again, she enticed him. He told her, and on the last 7th day, the Philistines was able to explain the riddle to him. And of course, this made him move into anger, and he killed about 30 Philistines. When he killed 30 Philistines, he took those garments and gave it to the 30 among the people that were there at that wedding feast. So he most definitely was angry about everything. So my insight was check your emotions. Do not be led by strong emotions that can lead you to negative outcome. Those emotions that can lead you into more trouble. You have to discipline yourself. That is easier said than done for many of us. Even myself, I have to check the way I'm speaking to people, the way I'm speaking and handling things with my husband, with my children, with my grandchildren. I have to check myself. And I do not struggle with apologizing when I know that I am wrong. Even sometimes when I'm not wrong, but I notice that the person is reacting and their perception, it may be wrong. I do apologize because somehow, some way, I have given them a wrong message. So I have no problem with apologizing when either if I'm in the wrong or if I'm not in the wrong, because it's all about their perception of how they're receiving things. Sometimes you can say things the most sweetest way, but sometimes people can receive that in a negative way. Through all of this, in Judges chapter 14, I'm hoping this place, Timnah, is familiar to you because this is a place that Judah had went to visit when he separated from his family. He went among the Canaanites. This is where he was shearing the sheep and where he actually found his unknown daughter-in-law, Tamar. So this is where that had happened. I did have one question out of Judges chapter 14 because Samson and his father was headed to Timnah for the wedding feast, and we do know that they was going as a way through the vineyard. But I do recognize how Samson was able to tear apart this lion without his father and his parents knowing. So my assumption could is that Samson went in a different direction and did not go towards the direction of the vineyard. That he maintained all the Nazarite requirements although we see that he is trying to marry a woman that is not of the tribe of Dan, but he kept those instructions and went a different direction, which is why his family did not was not aware that he tore this line apart, of course, where the honey came from. So that was my question out of Judges chapter 14. I have all my cross reference and I had no word study for Judges chapter 14.